As we keep this thing going, y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and by all means feel free to share the show on social media feed. We up in this thing. Let's pivot to this one right here. Another report here about a black and gold is that the Saints are scouting Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate. We've talked about Carnell Tate ad nauseum. We just had a mock draft on Patreon, patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, where we introduced or really just talked about Carnell Tate as a pick, because with the uncertainty around Chris Olave, right? The rampant uncertainty around Chris Olave, you don't know what's going to happen with Chris Olave. We don't know what's going on. We know the Saints say they want to sign him back. There's been no movement on that yet. No movement on that at all. So if you are the Saints and you see another Ohio State wide receiver who's considered the top one, and by all indication, it appears that he will definitely fall to the Saints, then you might want to consider drafting them, and this is one of the things we see to give Tyler Shuck another weapon. Shout out to Bob Rose, he on the scoop talking about it as the Saints looking at Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate. Here's the breakdown of it, as they are definitely are in scouting them right now. We'll see what the plan is as far as that goes, but here it is. Over the last 2 years, the Saints, particularly true of NFL draft, Saints have a ton of success with Ohio State Buckeyes. In the last 17 years, the Saints have drafted 6 Ohio State players in the first or second. A total of 11 Buckeyes have been drafted by the Saints in the last 25 years, with several others added as free agent contributors in recent seasons. Wide receiver Michael Thomas and Chris Olave have tremendous success as the Saints draft picks in recent years. Olave is in line for a contract extension with the Saints this offseason. New Orleans also looking to pair Olave with another playmaking wideout. They'll probably do it early in the 26th NFL draft, where another Buckeye will be an early pick. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Buckeye, 6'2", 192, 40-yard dash, 4.53. And you know that's been a knock on him, his speed, his 4.53 40-yard dash time, but he plays a lot faster on film. After starring at Marist High School in Illinois, Carnell Tate closed out the final 2 years of his high school career at the famed IMG Academy in Florida. The 5-star recruit landed with the Buckeyes, where he was among immensely talented receiver group. He still caught 18 passes for over 200 yards and a touchdown as a freshman, and he had more of a prominent role in 24 with the national championship Buckeyes. That year, he pulled in 52 catches for over 700 yards and 4 touchdowns, finishing third on the team in all 3 categories. While Tate still played second fiddle to Jeremiah Smith in 2025, he was still a valuable weapon for a team that lost just 2 games. He contributed 51 catches, over 800 yards, and scored 9 touchdowns. He looks to be following in the footsteps of Olave, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith, Njigba, Emeka, all these other guys, right? Tremendous talent going into the next 4 years for whatever team drafts him. His strengths: outstanding route precision, disguises breaks like a seasoned pro, accelerates into patterns to set up fakes, excels in full route tree, consistently wins contested catches, good awareness for open spots and zones, gets open where the play breaks down, high point ball with exceptional timing, adjusts to off-target throws well, shows an extra gear down the field. Now, the weakness is this: doesn't have the outstanding athleticism, has never been his team's featured wideout, may need to add bulk for NFL rigorous season, can struggle to shake press, needs to be more physical at catch point in high traffic areas, and not a major threat after the catch. Now, this is Bob breaking it down, but Carnell Tate's 2026 draft outlook: he will follow Wilson, Olave, and others. As a first-round pick, he could be the first receiver chosen and will almost certainly be a top 10 selection. The fact that he's never been a featured receiver could be a small concern to a wide-out needy team, but he has all the abilities to develop into one. NFL analyst Lance Zierlein has compared Carnell Tate to Chris Olave. Both players have very similar attributes. The Saints will have to draft Tate with the 8th overall pick if they want him, but would he be a strong addition to the offense? If Tate is anywhere near as successful as Olave has been in his career, then the Saints will have a terrific receiver combo for the quarterback Tyler Shuck in their offense. So shout out to Bob. And that's like we talked about, the Saints host this same player. So we get the scouting report. We also get the other information. The Saints report is scheduled to host this wide receiver and project top 10 with a top 30 pre-draft visit later this week, according to Nick Underhill. So we know that this was reported yesterday. This is supposed to happen. So early in the pre-draft process, New Orleans hosted a dinner with Tate and several other Ohio State prospects. The 21-year-old Chicago, Illinois native hauled in the 51 catches and 9 touchdowns this past season, posting a 77.3% catch rate. That's the best among the receivers in the draft class. Despite running the deepest routes, Tate's 90.3 overall grade ranks 6th among the 679 qualifying wide receivers in 2025, while his 90.2 receiving grade also ranks 6th. Tate stands 6'2", 190 plus pounds. You can see his arms length there, 31 and a quarter. And he ran a 4.53 in the 40. And that's the thing they've been trying to put the knock on him. But he would be an immediate impact for the Saints offense and provide another playmaker for the franchise quarterback, Tyler Shuck. Saints have been doing this due diligence on this upcoming wide receiver class. It could be looking to add one more with the overall pick. Yeah, they talked to him early on, and now they're hosting him on a visit because it's a real need. The Saints have to address at some point the wide receiver position. We understand and know that Chris Olave is on the Saints are having issues fulfilling his contract, getting that together. But the bottom line is this. Carnell Tate provides security, provides an insurance policy in case they can't come to an agreement with Chris Olave. You never know what could happen in this whole Olave situation. The Saints say they want to pay him. There's not been any movement on that. But if you're the Saints and you're looking at Carnell Tate, who could be available at number 8 for you, you got to pull the trigger on that, because if anything happened, and like I said, it's a gamble no matter how you slice it. But the reality is, if you want a solid wide receiver like this on your team, and you're working here with Olave speed with this, that's a good tandem. That's a good tandem for Tyler Shuck to have. And the reality is, even though they talk about Tate's 4.53 in the 40, some kind of way he's still able to get all of this average. The catches, downfield catches is all the chain. What he does, to be honest with you, I mean, what he brings down when he's catching the ball down the field is just ridiculous. I mean, the guy is averaging 15 yards per catch or something like that. You know, it's crazy what Carnell Tate does, but you know, a lot of the people kind of get on him because of that, because of his damn his 4.53 speed, which, like I said, man, the guy averages 17 yards per catch. You know, and he's done pretty much that his entire college career, going back to 2023. He averaged, 14. He caught just 18 catches. He averaged 15 yards per catch in 23. He averaged 14 yards per catch in 2024, and he averaged 17 yards per catch in 2025 with 9 touchdowns. So regardless of the 4.53 speed or not, he gets behind secondaries and he makes big catches. If he's averaging 17, averaging double digit yards per catch, that means he's getting behind the secondary and make deep plays consistently if he's averaging like that. So take that in consideration when they start talking about the 4.53 speed. He plays faster than the 4.53 speed on tape. You can watch it, and in games he looks faster than the time. That's why a lot of people, not really the smarter ones, are not on the 4. He only ran such and such. No, you look at his yards per catch consistently over the last 3 years. He is a double-digit yards per catch receiver. He's a big play guy that gets down the field, even though he doesn't have big play speed like a Makai Lemon and even speed of the Jordyn Tyson. But he still has the get downfield stats that you would see that those guys possess. So he lures you to sleep. If that was a thing with Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate, and the Saints could definitely use him, to be honest with you, going into the season. Take a look at our depth chart right here. As you can see, Olave's here. Like I said, he still got to get the contract together on him going forward. Divine Valley's listed with Mason Tipton, You get to the second level, Bub Means coming off injury. All these guys coming off injuries. Veli, Tipton, Bub Means, Kevin Austin Jr. will look pretty decent. Trey Palmer coming off injury as well. Jalen Poe coming off injury. You got Ronnie Bell, Samari Toure, Elijah Cooks, and Damian Alford. So it's a lot of talent here, but a lot of this talent is unproven talent, right? And that's the thing that as the Saints you look at, like, okay, we've got a lot of talented looking people, but we have unproven guys that haven't done it long enough and strong enough on the level to be counted on. Everything else outside of that is just guesswork, right? So adding another wide receiver, we know eventually we'll add a wide receiver with some height and some speed and some route running. And you can, if you get one like Tate in the first round, add Tate at 8, it should be the moniker. If you get Tate at 8, that's doing it big for the black and gold, man. Giving Chris Olave a bona fide combo wide receiver, something that he hadn't had consistently. Didn't have Mike Thomas consistently. They tried to bring what's your boy name from Dallas, Cedric Wilson Jr. Try to bring him in there as a guy. It just didn't work. So if you get Olave under contract long term and then draft Carnell Tate, and then you have guys like Polk and Veli and all these guys here, it creates a lot of competition in a wide receiver room too.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.